Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Talk About It. My name is Anva Wiskus. I'll be your host today, and I am so grateful that you are here and you are joining me. If you are brand new to Talk About It, welcome. It is a post-grad centered podcast that posts every single Wednesday, and I am so happy that you are here and you are joining me today. Hello, you guys. Hello. I feel like it's literally been forever since I've talked to you. I know your timeline, it's only been a week, but this past week has been a lot. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the fact that it's been negative here. I don't know if it's the fact that everything around me is just very chaotic. I don't know if it's the fact that literally I can't even remember anything. I can't keep my mind straight. I feel like the person I was in the last episode is like months ago. Like, I don't even remember which episode it was, but I know I told you guys that I was rewatching Emily in Paris and I was super excited about it. I think that was like 2 episodes ago, actually. But seriously, it feels like a decade ago. I have felt very out of the sorts. I don't know if anyone else is feeling that way right now, if that's just the January post holiday slump. I have been really feeling that this year. Just very chaotic, very busy. I thought the holiday season was busy, but oh my gosh, this season right now is probably the busiest I have been in a really long time. And it's been a lot. I'm trying really hard to keep my head screwed on straight, but most of the time I end up forgetting my head at home. But I'm here and I'm so ready to be present with you guys. I literally wasn't sure if I was going to do an episode today. I kind of like crashed out earlier. I'm not even going to lie. That's where my mindset is. I crashed out earlier. I was like fully bawling to my parents, very emotional. Life is just lifing right now. I don't really know what's happening, but I was like, do I even post an episode this week? Not sure. Just because I have told you guys, I want to make sure that I post and give you guys the best content that I can give you. And after a couple hours, I was like, you know what? Like, get it together. You're fine. It's okay. You can do this. You know exactly what you want to talk about. You know exactly the points you want to make. You can do this. Wake your brain up and let's give the people what they want. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to suck it up and do it because sometimes you just got to like pull through and do the thing. You know what I mean? If I sit and sulk and wondering if I should do something or wondering if that was a mistake, then most of the time I'm regretting it. And so here we are. You guys. I also have been like low key looking at my topics for like the last how many episodes. Man, we've been deep, you guys. We have been really deep. I am prone to go very deep in topics. And those topics, I'm very glad that we talked about them because they're very serious. And I know a lot of people are relating to those right now. And I know that if you're not relating to them now, you will relate to them. Like they're topics that people crave to listen to. I really just like pushed them on you guys all at once. I was like really in the mojo and the zone of just like pushing very serious, heavy topics onto you guys. So today I kind of want to be lighthearted. I really want to be lighthearted. I want to talk about a topic that I've just been very grateful for recently, something that I've been very appreciative recently, reminiscing on. I don't know, just it's a good feeler one, and it's important because this is also something that a lot of people are seeking. And yeah, so let's dive into this episode. I think it's about time. Today's topic is one that you have probably heard multiple times in your life. And if you haven't heard it multiple times in your life, you've definitely heard it once or twice. This phrase is very well known, and I am all for it. I'm a firm believer in it. And so I want to dissect it with you guys. I want to give you guys a little bit of an inside scoop on something that I take very seriously, and that is you are who you surround yourself with. Okay, you guys, I need to wake my brain up. I need to wake my brain up. I'm going to do an Olipop cream soda today. I can't remember the last time I've had this flavor. I don't even remember if I really like this flavor, but I'm kind of just at the point where I'm like, let me just try something new and see how it makes me feel. I might feel very funky, so let's try this. Cheers to you. Cheers to me. Cheers to this episode. I hope that you take away something fabulous and amazing from it today. And I hope that this is exactly what you needed to hear. And that's the reason that you clicked on this video, is that you saw the title, you saw the summary, and you're like, this is exactly what I needed to hear. And I hope that that's exactly what you take away from this video. So cheers to this. I love you guys. Let's go. Oh, yeah, I do like this flavor. It makes me want to put it over vanilla ice cream. I know it's a lot of sugar, but that literally is, oh my gosh. I totally forgot I like that flavor. I said this obviously like literally 5 seconds ago, but this is something that I would assume a lot of you guys, if not most of you guys, have heard before. This phrase that you are who you surround yourself with. I think that this has been something that I have been so grateful to learn. I am so grateful for the people in my life right now. My friends are seriously the best of the best. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Like I I struggle sometimes making the right friends. Like I'm very outgoing. I'm very confident in the sense where I'll go up to people and I'll ask them their number, or I'll reach out to someone and I'll ask them, what are they doing? Do you want to join us? I'm someone who I like to be very inclusive. So I don't have a problem meeting people, but for me, it's the issue of meeting the right people and surrounding myself with the right people. I feel like through college, I've kind of like gone through this before. I met so many people, and there's nothing wrong with the people that I met. I think that they're all amazing in their own ways, but some people aren't meant for you. And I think that that was something that I learned very quickly in college was people are great, but that doesn't mean that they're your people. And you need to find your people. You need to find the people that'll make you the best version of yourself, that'll have your back, that'll be morally and centered around similar things so they have your back in moments that you need them. And I just, yeah, I really feel like I have found that in the group of people that I am surrounding myself. People who reach out to me, people who seek me, people who pray for me, pray over me. That is something that like genuinely is a game changer for me. And I really just want to talk about this topic because I've just been so grateful for the friends that I've made and the people who I've met this past year and the person that they've helped me become and that they continue to push me to be, and the ways that they are just literally some of my biggest cheerleaders. And some of these friends also include my hometown squad. I am literally still attached at the hip with my hometown best friends. And so, you know, this all kind of resonates with them as well. But specifically, what I want this whole conversation to be about is the phrase, you are who you surround yourself with, and specifically why that is so important. My first point, my first point, and this is one that takes a lot of time to consume. It takes a lot of time to like fully devote to. It's okay to be picky. It's okay to be picky about who you're around and who you spend your time with. I have turned into a fan of being picky. The way that I used to be the type of person that you would know everything about my life if I just met you. I would literally not hold back any detail. I am an open book, and I relatively still am, but I am an open book for the people who want to hear my story. Like everything that's happened, the real reason that something didn't work out, my opinions on certain things, on people, like I always was an open book. And that ended up really biting me in the butt because I would share too much with the wrong people. And I'm someone who like, I don't know if that's common sense or not, but I didn't have that feature. Like I just was very outgoing, and I wanted to be honest, and I wanted to be vulnerable. And like I feel like vulnerability always seeks vulnerability, but with certain people, they'll take your vulnerability and they'll kind of like use it against you. And so I learned that you can't just share everything with everyone. And I know how silly that sounds, but as someone who likes to be vulnerable and outgoing and inclusive with people, that was something that was really hard for me to learn. And over time, I started to trust people less and less because I got really scared that I shared too much with the wrong people and that it was going to bite me in the butt, or they were going to twist my words, or things weren't going to come out the way that I intended for them to come out. So that was something that I really learned. But over time, and especially once I graduated college, I really did a self assessment on the values that I really wanted in friendships and the people that I wanted centering me. And it's crazy. It was clear as day to me the types of people who I needed to move on from. And I don't mean like block, literally exile from my life, never be nice to again, but just not put the energy into, not tell them my deepest, darkest thoughts and my everything about my life, what happened with this fallout from this person, what happened with this boy, what happened with my family, the true things that make me and that drive my emotion. I became very aware of the people who I needed to stop serving that time with, serving that energy with. I needed to be more picky about who was my center, who were my immediate people, who were my emergency contacts, if you will. That's another like fun phrase to say it. Who my people were. Because you can't tell someone how to treat you. You can't teach them how to be a friend to you. Some people are going to just naturally be that way for you, but some people you're going to have to coach. And I learned that the people that I was having to coach be a good friend to me weren't the people that I wanted to value as my friends. And I know that's kind of harsh, but that was something that I kind of was awoken to, that I was like, I know that these people have different values, they have different lifestyles, they see me in a way that I don't really appreciate. I don't feel like this is reciprocated. In fact, I honestly feel like this is a very one-sided relationship and I am not benefiting at all from it. And I told myself that I had to learn to be picky. I had to start being picky because I can't teach everyone who walks into my life how to be a friend to me. That's just a waste of time. Just like you can't change someone to be the type of person that you want to end up with. You can't teach an individual to be what you need them to be for you. They're either going to be that way or they're not going to be that way. They're either going to learn on their own to be that way for you or they're not going to be that way for you. I just woke up to that. I was like, I need to be okay with being picky. And I think this one is like one that I want to start out with because I feel like being picky has such a negative connotation to it. Like when you hear that someone is being picky about something, that means that either they're less approachable or they're less nice in, quote unquote, whatever you think that might be. Maybe you feel like they might be more stuck up or that they're harder to please or that you're maybe not going to be their cup of tea and you might face rejection. Like, I totally get that being picky can have a negative connotation, which is why when I say that, it doesn't mean that you can't be nice to people and you can't still be friendly to people. But in terms of who you surround yourself with, you need to be picky about that. You deserve to be picky. If you aren't casting out the bad seeds from your life, then you're not going to have a fruitful tree. Point blank, period. If you allow anyone to have access to your fruit, they're going to be greedy. They're going to be greedy. They're going to take what you have to offer and not fill you with what you need in return. Like, I feel like that should be the way that we look at that word and that we look at the importance of it versus, oh, that person's picky. That means that they're just a raging brat or they aren't going to like you because of X, Y, and Z, or they're low-key very rude and they're not going to be someone who is nice to talk to. Like, I feel like I'm still a very approachable person, even if we haven't talked in 5 years or this is our first time talking, but the way that I approach meeting you and talking to you is going to be different than the ways that I used to because I want to make sure that you value the things that I want in a friend and the things that are important to me in a friend, and the relationship that we're going to have is going to be fruitful. It's going to be beneficial. It's going to feel reciprocated on both sides. And so I know that word has a negative connotation to it, but I really feel like we need to reflip the script. Like we need to completely redefine it in our minds, in society, and how we view relationships, because we deserve to be picky. Just like you're picky dating, just like it's important to find certain values in someone dating, it's important to find what you need in a friendship. You won't always just find someone on the street that's going to be a perfect angel for you and give you everything that you want in a friendship. It might take a couple trials and a couple lessons to find the right people that will fill your cup and that will be the friend that you need them to be. But it's important to know what you're looking for and to be picky about who you're surrounding yourself with. And I don't think you should feel bad for it. It's your life. I don't think that you should feel bad if someone doesn't value what you need them to value in a friend that you're looking for. Just like some people might not value you as a friend. You have to be okay with that. But that's your life, that's their life. And just know that when you do shift out certain seeds to find the ones that you want to help you grow, that those seeds will help you grow. When you surround yourself with people who view you less, you end up viewing yourself less. T, like straight T. When you surround yourself with people who view you less, you think of yourself less. Just let that sink in. There have been a lot of friendships in my life that I never would have thought that they would have thought less of me, that they didn't want the best for me. They didn't want me to succeed. I never would have assumed that, especially in the moment. But once I stepped away from the friendships, I realized very quickly how much I was deflated by someone, how much I was put down by someone, how much I was the sole reason to why that friendship was working. I was believing in other people. I was putting in the effort for certain people. I was giving them energy and hyping them up and being the person that they needed in their life, being the person that I needed in my life. But I didn't fully realize it at the time, and I didn't fully noticed it at the time that they weren't doing the same thing for me. And this has gone through my entire life. Like, this isn't just in the past 5 years. This isn't just in college. This isn't just in high school. Like, I have met people in all areas of my life that I thought were really good friends and that would be lifelong friends, but realized very quickly that they viewed me as less than. One thing that I really pushed out when I was meeting people and I was pursuing new friendships, especially post-grad, when all my friends had finally moved and I was like, okay, I need to actually go out and make some friends, is that I wanted a community of people and I wanted to find people, one, that were centered around Christ, but two, that wouldn't feel intimidated by their friends, that wouldn't feel like they had to fight for the spotlight. I don't think that in healthy friendships, there should be a spotlight. I don't think that there should be the typical schoolgirl clique of like the one person is the most popular and the other girls are just their friends. I think that's very, very, very crazy. And I have learned that that is just so high school. And if you are living in a friendship that is like that, then I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but maybe just recheck the value of those friendships. And if they truly are feeding you, because they might be, but just stay with me here. Whenever I was in a situation like that, or whenever I allowed myself to be less so someone else could be more, my entire personality struggled. My entire self-esteem struggled. I literally would have to force myself to be less and believe I was less because the people I was surrounding myself with didn't like when I was more. They didn't see me for the person that I wanted to be, the things that I wanted to achieve. They almost saw me, I wouldn't say it's like a stepping stool, but they saw me as a way that they can use me to make themselves be better and to push me down in the process. They didn't lift me up. They didn't motivate me. They weren't my cheerleaders. And I mean, I think that's a typical thing for girls to go through because girls are hard. Like, girls are really hard to be friends with, especially when you're younger and you're trying to figure out who you are and you're trying to figure out your voice and like what you stand for and what you don't stand for. I'm still trying to figure out what I stand for in friendships. And like, I think it's so hard to maneuver that. I really do. But it becomes very apparent at a certain point in friendships when certain people don't want you to be your brightest, best self. And when I was pursuing friendships, that was one thing that I really wanted to make sure I didn't get stuck into. I wanted friends who were confident in who they were and who saw their value and my value to boost us both, who felt like together we were stronger than apart versus together they were stronger and I was less. That we together, we were the best that we could be. That's what I sought after, especially as a sister in Christ, as someone who I was trying to find a Christ-like relationship with. It's honestly so hard to find those friendships. It's hard to find genuine people who want to see you succeed. And I know that that could sound crazy, but I really do feel like it's hard to find those people who aren't just going to be, dare I say, lukewarm friends, who aren't just going to be your friends to your face and then secretly prey on your downfall behind your back or wish the worst on you or tear you down just for the fun of it, make an issue just for the fun of it. There's a lot of people who will do that and who will claim to be your bestest friends. And that completely changes who you are and the environment that you're allowing yourself to be in, that you're growing in, the environment that you're growing in. If it's toxic and it's full of people who all they want is for you to be negative and negative and negative and not see your full potential, you're not going to grow in the ways that you want to grow. I think we can all agree on that. But it is genuinely really hard to just find that in a random crowd of people. It is so important to fill your environment with people who believe you, who believe in you, who see you for the person that you are and want to appreciate that with you. It's so important. And it changes even your mindset on yourself. You doubt yourself less. You feel less lonely. You feel like you have people who are thinking about you, even if you haven't seen them for months. People who are praying for you, even when you don't know they're praying for you. People who are listening to you like fully, wholeheartedly when you are talking to them about something and want to genuinely see something better occur. They want to see you be better. They want to see you thrive more. They want to see your life succeed just as you want to see theirs succeed. When you surround yourself with people who think you are less, you will think of yourself as less. I think that is such an important statement to remember. Another thing that is really important to think about is that we are constantly in a society of followers and leaders. It doesn't matter where you feel you fit, regardless, even if you are a leader, you are a follower in some ways. And I think that when you are finding friendships and you are seeking after people who you have intentions of pursuing a friendship with or wanting at some point to get to know this person, it's important to follow people who walk like you. Now, I'm going to pause because I do think that there is something very beneficial in people who don't have obviously the same views, beliefs, morals, everything. Like that shouldn't be a reason to why you aren't friends with people. But I think and I know that people who have the same standards, such as loyalty, such as quality time, such as caring for people, and certain features and things within themselves that just make them a good person, you need to follow people who walk like you. And let me speak on that more because this is actually a very important point, and I want to like strip that down even more and talk about it. But basically, a lot of the times in life, we will create idols of things and we won't even know that they will become idols. I think that personally, a lot of the times I've created potential friends as idols and that I have cared more about what they could think of me, them wanting to be friends with me, my impressions on them, making sure that they feel like they want to be my friend just as much as I feel like I want to be their friend. I make that a personality, and I put a lot of my my security in potential friends, especially if I meet this person on social media, which recently I've met a lot of people through social media. But I have put a lot of my faith and my perspective and my time on trying to make sure that that friendship works. That because I do that, I will be clearly blindsided to the fact that those people don't share the same values in friendships that I do. They don't walk the same as I do. And therefore, I will be trying so hard to get into that friend group, into the good graces of this person so that they'll want to hang out with me, that I will often sacrifice parts of myself to become friends with that person because I really want to be friends with that person. I think it would be so cool to be friends with that person. Little do I know, though, in the meantime, I'm sacrificing a lot of what I believe in myself. I'm sacrificing a lot of my self worth, and I'm sacrificing a lot of standards that I have held myself so high to, that I have focused on, that I've dwelled, that they're important to me. I've sacrificed a lot of those because the vision of this friendship is shinier than who I am without this person. We are inspired by who we follow. We are inspired by what we seek after. What they do, what they say, how they act. How they react is a really important thing too. If you have a conflict with someone, how they react is a perfect example of how they view your friendship or friendships in general. And I think the most important thing that you need to do in terms of this is, one, not make a potential friendship an idol, but also to be aware of a wolf in sheep's clothing. Because a lot of times you'll put someone up to this possible shelf and you'll be like, oh my gosh, this person's amazing. They're awesome. They seem so cool. Like, I would love to be friends with them. I need to be friends with them. And even they might come off as someone who walks like you and has the same values as you and has the same tendencies and the same habits and same beliefs or whatever as you, but they could be a wolf. Someone who, at the end of the day, is in their nature to attack you, to bring you down, to scare you. After all of this, and kind of like my closing statement, if you will, that I want to leave you all on is that making friends and finding the right people to surround yourself with takes time. It really takes time. We don't give ourselves enough time to find the right people for you. We really don't. The right people will treat you right. There are people out there who you won't have to ask to be a good friend. There are. You are constantly getting ready to meet a new important person in your life. And whether that person is important because they're a lesson or because they're a lifelong friend, you will know the difference because you won't have to ask the right people to treat you the right way. And I think that's a big difference, is that a lot of us seek after friendships just because we want friends and we want the conveniency of it and we want the company, but we need to seek after the value and who those people are, how they surround you, and the type of friend that they are. Because 2026 is not going to be the year of fake friendships. 2026 is not going to be the year of fighting for a friendship that is one-sided, giving more to that person than you are receiving. It is not going to be a year of wasting your time on people who you think are potential. It's going to be full of certainty and full of people who prove to you their value in your life, and vice versa too. You prove your value in their life. Equal friendships, value friendships. We are surrounding ourselves this year with people who make us better, who keep us grounded to ourselves, who push us to be higher. That is what we are seeking in 2026. Friendships of value. Point blank, period. That is all I have for you guys today. This might be like a little shorter, sweeter episode, but I hope that it was a little bit more cheery. It was a little bit more full of energy. I hope it wasn't as serious as my past couple episodes. I know those episodes are so important, but I really like this topic because I had a really fun time reminiscing and just being so grateful for the friends that I've learned along the way and that I've met along the way and that have become very valuable people in my life to this day. Whether those are people who have literally known me for, oh my gosh, literally 20 years, or people who I have known for a year, maybe. I hope that you guys liked this episode. I hope that it spoke to you. I hope that it inspired you. I hope that it was fun. I hope that it was awesome. And I hope that you will tune in again next week for another episode of Talk About It podcast. I love you guys so, 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 so very much. I am going to enjoy the rest of this Olipop. I am. I literally have just been talking. I've been like rambling on and on and on. And I want to go put it over some ice in a wine glass and be bougie. I want to like literally put on a face mask and binge watch a series tonight. I've been rewatching Heartland. Let me know if there are any other people out there who are listening to this who have watched Heartland. Heartland, literally 19 seasons and counting, not even kidding. Grew up watching that show. Fun fact, I was a horse girl. Can't even lie about it. I grew up loving ranch life. Literally barrel racing, equestrian, all that stuff, dressage. I did all the things. Okay, I used to have a horse. But I literally want to get my pajamas on already. I want to get a face mask on. We're ordering pizza. We're ordering wings. And I want to put that drink over ice in a wine glass. That is going to be my night. Anyway, what an outro. What an outro. I love you guys. I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day or end of your day or beginning of your day, whatever time of day it is, whatever day you're listening to this. I hope it's amazing for you. I love you so, 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 so very much. And I will talk to you so incredibly very soon.